Hi guys, it's Shamsa and welcome back to my little kitchen. Today's recipe is a lovely all-in-one rice dish. I'm showing you how to make my version of vegetable pulao. It's also known as sabzi pulao. Sabzi means vegetables, so it's sabzi pulao. It's mildly spiced, aromatic, and has all of your favorite vegetables in there. And the best thing about it is that you can mix any kind of vegetables in there. The more, the better. Now, before I run through the ingredients with you quickly on how to make this amazing dish, if you like my content, then please show your support and subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on for all new updates on the channel. So let's start. So the ingredients you're going to need is 2 mugs, which equates to 500 grams of basmati rice. I'm using VT extra long basmati rice. You can use whichever you wish, that's entirely up to you. I've washed it several times and let the water run clear, and then I've added fresh water into that and I'm just letting that sit and soak. I've got here one large onion, which I finely sliced. This weighs approximately 200 grams. I've got here fresh cauliflower, which I've just floreted into small pieces like that. And these weigh 300 grams. I've got here 2 medium potatoes, which I've peeled and cubed and into small pieces, more or less the same size as the cauliflower, because you want even cooking with these 2 items because they do take longer to cook than the rest of the ingredients. And I've weighed them and they weigh 350 grams approximately. I've got here 1 large carrot, which I've peeled and cubed into small pieces. This weighs approximately 150 grams. I've got here 1 cup of frozen peas, 250 grams, and I've got here 2 medium tomatoes, which weigh 180 grams, and I've just sliced them thinly like that. And I have here 1/3 cup of oil and the following whole spices. I've got 1/2 tablespoon of cumin seeds, 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorns. I've got 2 cinnamon sticks roughly the size of my thumb, 1 black cardamom pod. I've got 6 cloves. I've got 3 green cardamom pods, and I've got 3 bay leaves. I've got here 2.5 teaspoons of salt. We can check the salt later on and adjust it. And I've got here 1 teaspoon of regular chili powder, and I've got here 1/2 a frozen cube each of ginger and garlic. So in my videos I normally use 1 whole piece, you see that, the frozen cubes, but I've just sliced them in half to give me 1/2 a cube each of the ginger and garlic. Now if you don't have these, then you can substitute these with half a tablespoon of the pesto puree. I've got here 2 green chillies. These are optional, but they do add a really nice flavour to the dish, and I've sliced them finely, and I've also got water to use as and when we need to. So let's start cooking. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our pan nice and hot. My heat setting is currently on a 7, which is a medium high setting, and I'm just going to go straight in with the oil and just give that a couple of seconds just to heat up. When the oil has heated up nicely, I'm going to throw in my whole spices and just give them around 20 to 30 seconds to fry off and infuse the oil. That's perfect. And then we're going to add the onions, and we're going to fry the onions until they're nice and sort of like translucent and lightly golden brown in colour. And that's going to take around 6 minutes. So I'll show you how they look once they're done. Right, okay, coming back to the onions, they have been frying away now for approximately 6 minutes, and you can see that they are super soft and they are a nice golden brown colour. Now the difference between a lamb or a chicken pilau and a vegetable pilau is the colour of onions. Now normally when we make a lamb or a chicken pilau recipe, we brown our onions and get them really nice and dark brown so the colour transfers onto the meat and the rice. In this case, because it's a vegetable pilau, we don't need to do that. We go for a very light sort of light colour, so this is perfect. Now into this I'm going to add my tomatoes, my ginger and garlic, my green chilies, the salt, and just give that around 2 to 3 minutes just for the garlic and ginger to sort of like cook, so we get rid of the rawness. And my heat setting was on a 1 because I had to lower it. I'm just going to put it back up to a 7 again. So 2-3 minutes later and I'll show you how this looks. Right, okay, so it's been about 3 minutes that I've been frying off the ginger and garlic with the tomatoes and the green chilies. Into this I'm going to add 1/2 cup of boiled kettle water, just like that. I'm going to throw in my red chilies now. If you wanted to make this less spicier, just leave out the red chili powder and you could just add the green, or vice versa. That's entirely up to you. And then we are going in with our cauliflower, our potatoes, and our carrots, because these are going to take the longest to cook. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to cook this for about 6 minutes in this sort of like masala, and after 6 minutes I'll show you how they look. All we're going to be doing is just keeping an eye on it, keep stirring it, and after 6 minutes I'll show you how it looks. Right, okay, so the vegetables have been cooking away for approximately 8 minutes. I did say 6 minutes, but it's 8 minutes. 2 minutes doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. So I like them al dente, which is slightly crunchy. Now into this I'm going to throw in 3 mugs of boiled kettle water, which equates to 750 millilitres, just like that. I'm going to turn my heat setting up now to full power, which is 9. I reduced it earlier because the camera was steaming over. And I'm going to add my frozen peas in, just like that, and just allow that to come up to the boil. And the reason why we've added the peas in right at the end is because we want that vibrant green colour, and peas won't take long to cook. So just allow that to come up to the boil and then we'll add the rice in. Okay, now at this stage what I want you to do is I also want you to check the seasoning, the salt in there. So just, that needs a little bit more. It's there, but it just needs a little bit more. So I'm just going to go in with around half a teaspoon more. Perfect. So in total we've added 3 teaspoons of salt in there. And I'm just going to pop the lid on and just allow that to come up to the boil. Right, okay, so this has come up to the boil. So just take the lid off, and I've strained my soaked rice and I'm just going to add them straight in and just gently stir the rice in like that. And now pop the lid on and keep the heat setting on full power, which is a 9 for my hob, and just allow the rice to cook away now for approximately 7 to 8 minutes until all that water that we've added dries up, and then I'll show you what you need to do next. Right, okay, so it's been around 6 minutes that the rice has been cooking away. Just to remove the lid to show you, and you can see most of the moisture, the water in there has dried completely. Now at this stage we are going to reduce our hob settings down to a 2, which for my hob is a low heat setting. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the lid back on again now, and we're going to allow this to cook on dum. And dum basically means steaming and cooking further. So for the next 10 to 12 minutes we are not going to do anything to this. Allow this to cook away, and after 12 minutes I'll show you how it looks. So keep your heat settings on a low, which is a 2 for my hob, and I'll see you guys back in 12 minutes time. And 12 minutes later, this is how it looks. Ooh, the aroma is just so amazing. And I'm just gonna show you just how well the rice is cooked. Just look at that. All the rice grains are cooked to perfection, and it just looks absolutely wonderful, guys. So there you have it. My vegetable, or also known as sabzi pulao, is ready. Let me plate this up and show you guys exactly how it is. So there we have it, guys. My wonderful vegetable pilau is all ready. I'm going to plate this up and show you guys exactly how it is. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. And you know, when I mentioned that I like my vegetables slightly al dente, which is slightly on the crunchier side, the reason for that is because by the time you've cooked the vegetables and then added the water in and then put the rice in to cook that, the vegetables are already going to go through like 2 stages of cooking. One when you add the rice and the water in, and the second stage is obviously when you put it on dum, which is steaming it with the rice at the end. So you want it to have a slight crunch to it, because otherwise they'll just end up turning to mush in there. But yeah, here goes. Absolutely wonderful. Oh. That is so tasty. There's a slight heat coming through from the chilies we added. If you're going to be serving this up to children, I suggest you actually use one of the chili in there, either the green chilies or the red chilies. You can reduce the red chilies by half or even leave them out. This will be perfect. But I mean, the rice grains are all nice and fluffy and separated, and the cauliflower and the potatoes and the carrots are still holding their shape, and that's what you want. Makes a great alternative to like having lamb or chicken pilau rice. Perfect. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. If you found it helpful, please do give it a thumbs up, share it with your family and friends, make it, tag me in the posts on Instagram and on Facebook as well. I'm even on TikTok, so tag me. I'd love to see you recreate my recipes at home, and I'll catch you soon with another one. Till then, take care and happy eating.